Hi writers, that's what I decided to call us, because guys, yeah. Hi writers. This week we're going to look about getting the crap out of your story. Mostly this comes about from, I've joined a thing called SKOOL, which is just another forum. It's a nice little forum, I'll put a link below. And every month they have a writing competition where they give you 3 topics and you write up to 10 pages on it. And in this forum, you read other people's work and you comment on it. It's just a fun thing to do. As you know, I like writing, I like talking about writing, reading about writing. I'm a bit of a nerd. But a lot of people have these starts that seem to be novelistic, like it was a bad suburb, everyone was fearful, or things like that. The town is a big snarling beast of so and so. They don't start with a good visual. And when people say you've got 1 to 3 pages to convince your reader, or you've got the first 10 pages to really hook someone, you can tell the quality of food by the first taste. As soon as it touches your tongue, and your screenplay is the same thing. You can tell in the first opening sentence or two whether you're in good hands. So here's what we're going to be looking at in a way. A story, I'm going to put up an image. A story is theme and plot. So we want the story to tell us something, and the plot's the things that are going to happen to tell us about the theme. A character are their actions and what they say. And then the last thing we're going to be focusing on is the craft. What is on the page? So today we're just going to go through some great opening sentences, some great opening paragraphs, 1 or 2 lines to really set up the visual, set up the tone, set up the feel, and most of them do foreshadowing as well in 1 or 2 sentences. So let's get started. Interior, Andy's bedroom. I'm looking down at my iPad. Interior, Andy's bedroom. A row of moving boxes on the floor of the room. They are drawn up in crayon to look like a miniature western town. The bedroom is lined with cloud wallpaper giving the impression of the sky. One box has a child's illustrated wanted poster of Mr. Potato Head taped to it. Toy Story. Straight away. Okay, it's animated. But you get the idea. There's clouds, there's moving boxes drawn up as a small western town wanted. You know that there's a kid playing in this room, that it's youth, that it's joyous. Mr. Potato Head introduces the idea of a toy straight away. Sorry about that, I just had to put my PC to sleep so we don't hear the fan and everything in the background. The next one is the start of 12 Monkeys. Let's look at that. Interior, concourse, airport terminal, -bay. Close on a face. A 9-year-old boy, young Cole, his eyes wide with wonder, watching something intently. We hear the sound of a PA system droning flight information mingled with sounds of urgent shouts, running feet, exclamations. So, 2 sentences. We know it's an airport because it says Concourse Airport Terminal Bay. But we start with a direction, which everyone says don't do, camera movements. Close on the face, wide eyes, young boy, watching something intently. So we know that shot, the kid's doing this. And then we get this, we hear mingled PA drones, other sounds. And if you've watched the film, that's all sort of a bit muffled. And everything's in slow motion to get that across again. It has this unworldly feeling. It has a dreamlike quality to it. It doesn't even say that there. That would be a really bad way of saying, as in a dream, everything is blurred and muffled. That's too much explanation. Say what we're going to be seeing, and it should become self-evident. That tells us we're in good hands with this writer. Next one. It's the start of the Dark Knight. So this is super visual as well. And it starts with the logo. Burning massive flames, dark shapes emerge, bat symbols growing, filling the screen with darkness. Okay, that's his opening. But let's get to the story. Daylight, moving over towers of downtown Gotham, ... Closing in on an office building, ... A large window, ... Which shatters to reveal then we cut inside. Okay, so that's one little paragraph with some dots to give you the propulsion of it. And think about it, you could describe Gotham as a massive city with a river and bridges and a massive glass towers, and we come in on a window of one. All that, but this is one paragraph, nearly one sentence, that says daylight, so we know it's during the day, even though it's got upstairs day. Moving over towers of downtown Gotham. So Gotham, we know it's a city, and we're moving over towers. So more than one office block, multiple towers. Closing in on the office building. So we're coming in on one. A large window which shatters to reveal. So a simple shot. One sentence, you know what's happening, and you know you're in good hands straight away. This last one is this isn't actually the last one, but it's sort of Hell or High Water. Academy Award winning Taylor Sheridan. It's set in farming rural America. The banks have been ripping off farmers. Towns are dying. It's in the middle of a heat wave. Everyone's hot and sweaty. I don't know if you live in a really hot country, but here in Sydney, sometimes it's the hottest place on earth. The air is so hot that it feels claustrophobic. It's actually a bit hard to breathe, and that's what this film feels like. You should watch it. It's fantastic. Open on. So we know it's an opening shot, and that we're opening on this image. It's not anything else. It's just bang, up it comes. Dead grass, burnt from 4 months of triple-digit heat and no rain. So we know, fields. Next, and we just want that image. Then there's a paragraph, one line paragraph, next one. We've moved past an endless sea of it. So we know we're moving. We're in a car, we're just travelling along a sort of a highway. It's just endless fields. Past pump tracks, drawing black gold from the dirt. A couple of herd cattle scratching breakfast from the blistering earth. 2 bulls huddle in the shadow of a mesquite tree, choosing shade over hunger. So that is another image of just cows trying to get food and sustenance out of this burnt ground, and it's so hot that cows are deciding to hide under a tree rather than eat. Even if you don't take that cattle into account, that opening sentence, we've got triple degree heat, so blisteringly hot, and just burnt grass everywhere. We're driving along and we see oil pumps, and that's oil jacks. That's very important because A, we know it's hot, we now know it's a farming area, we've seen cows, that underlines it's a farming rural area as well. And those oil pumps become incredibly important in the film because that's one of the reasons they're robbing banks, is to get money, and they're going to sell a land lease to an oil company. There's a fair bit to it. But that lets you know, it sets it up, and it gives you a little bit of foreshadowing with the oil pumps. So your opening sentences are the most important things. It's like a title, which we'll look at a bit later. This gets people in. It lets the people know they're in good hands. So don't do non-visual things. After every scene heading, you should do something visual. Make sure the visual encompasses the film. Make sure it sets the tone, like in Hell or High Water, that it's dry, it's hot, it's sweaty. I want to give you one more thing out of Hell or High Water, which also shows how fantastic the writing in that screenplay is. We know the banks, by this word, a scene or so in, we know the banks have been ripping people off. Everyone is thin. The people in the diners, everyone just looks thin and hungry. There's no money. Shops are being boarded up. The towns are dying. They've come to rob a bank. They've pushed their way into the bank when the lady's first opening the bank in the morning. And she's like, well, Mr. Corson doesn't get here to 8:30. He's the manager. He's the only one that can open up the safe. There's no money till Mr. Corson gets here. So the banks that are feeding off people is going to be epitomised by Mr. Corson, and this is Mr. Corson's description. Again, just 1 or 2 sentences. Exterior, First Texas Bank, day. A 1978 Buick in mint condition comes to stop in front of the bank. Mr. Corson, 50s, a bit of a belly and barely any hair, climbs out, looks at the bank sign. A digital sign displays the time and temperature. 8:30, 98 degrees. So it's 8:30 in the morning. It's already nearly 100 degrees. We know it's exactly 8:30. We can also see that in a town that's dying, this guy drives a bit of a valuable car. It's not a Porsche, it's nothing that outlandish, but it's a mint condition. So it's a restored 1978 car. And he's well fed. He turns up just on time. He's not getting in early because he's in fear of losing his job. 8:30 in the morning, it's time. Someone else is looking after the bank for me, Mrs. whatever her name is, Eloise, I think her name was. He's just that guy. He's in control, well fed, antique car, pulls right up at the front. He's in control. He is the epitome of the bank. That one sentence, so well written, his characterization tells you what the bank is like compared to the rest of the town. Thank you everyone who's been doing this. It's really good. If you want to comment here, I've been getting lots of comments everywhere. A screenplay is not a blueprint, sort of blew up a little bit on Reddit. Got a lot of people that weren't happy with the idea that it wasn't a blueprint. They didn't want to be artists. They wanted to be blueprint creators. Up to them. Thank you everyone who's been commenting and everything. The book Logline is really good for writing loglines. Tools Not Rules is a really good way of breaking your brain open and getting the things out of your brain. It doesn't tell you how to write a screenplay. It tells you how to develop characters, how to do this, ways of unlocking thoughts in your own head, which will make you a better writer because we are writers. You get 20% off writerduet. I get no money out of that, but writerduet will give you a 20% discount if you use that code. Until next time, guys, keep writing.